married, you definitely like see who your true friends are. Has marriage exceeded your expectations? Did you always plan on getting married young?
So since we only dated for 3 months, and like when I told them that I was going to propose after 3 months, they were just kind of like,
how often do you do it?
Hey guys, I'm Easton, and this is my wife Caitlin, and we are
the Meadows fam. In today's video, we're going to answer your guys' most asked questions for us as a young married couple. We are officially 2 years married. We just had our 2-year anniversary. So when we got married, Easton was newly 21, like he literally turned 21 that week, 4 days before, and I was 22, so definitely on the younger side of being married.
Would you say that's a controversial thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think some people, like, when we tell them that, they're like, oh, that's awesome, or they're like, what, you're crazy, that's so young.
Just look at our TikTok comments.
Oh yeah, all the comments are like, you like, just wait, it's just crazy. So we did like a little Instagram poll, and you guys asked us a ton of questions. We're gonna try to get through a lot of them. So let's get into it. First one, did you always plan on getting married young?
For me, I'll start. For me, I feel like yes, like just growing. I don't know. I just always had a feeling. I think because one, I had older sisters, and so they had like their boyfriends, and my oldest sister got married at like 22 or 23, I think she was. So I feel like it was just normal, and that's like what I saw. And then also with my job, I've been coaching CrossFit since I've been 17 or 18, and I've just been around adults that are around the 25 to 35 to 40 years old age, and they have kids, and so I just matured really quickly, and I was just always around that, so I just thought it was a normal thing.
Yeah, I feel like for me, growing up, I did not think I was gonna get married young. Like, my parents got married in their late 20s, had me when she was 35, so I just always pictured in my mind, like, late 20s, you get married, early 30s, you start having kids. But then, like, as I actually started growing up and getting older, I think I realized, like, okay, I really do desire, like, marriage and at a young age. So yeah, it kind of changed for me. Like, I always thought it was going to be older, but then as I grew up, I was definitely excited and ready for it. The next question, were your parents supportive?
You go first.
Well, okay, also some backstory. We have another video on this, so definitely watch it. But we got married really fast, too. So we met. We started dating, we dated for 3 months, and then we got married 2 months later. So not only did we get married young, but it was like very fast.
We said send it.
We said full send. So, this is the crazy part. Like, my parents have never really like been like, oh yeah, like with any guys that my sister and I have dated in the past. And so I was like kind of nervous to like tell them like about Easton and how serious it was getting. Like, 'cause I just thought they were gonna be like pump the brakes or whatever. But my parents like love Easton. Like, they like fell in love with him. I think my mom was like more excited and supportive even than me at first. So they were super supportive, which was like totally from the Lord, like that their hearts were aligned with our path, I feel like. What about yours?
Yeah, for me, I feel like, so since we only dated for 3 months, and like when I told them that I was going to propose after 3 months, they were just kind of like, I don't know, they were just kind of in shock. Just, I feel like they hadn't experienced anybody close to them that have done that before. And I mean, 3 months just really is not a long time. Some people date for 2, 3, 4 plus years. Like my oldest sister, they dated for a couple years, and so I don't know, they just saw it coming. But for me, it was just such a surprise when I told them that. But they were super supportive. Just like, I mean, anything we do is in my family, I feel like they support us.
And I feel like when we were dating, we hung out with my family more, just because we were like, I feel like we were more at my house. So I felt like my parents got to know you a lot more than like your parents got to know me. And I think that's just like, just happened that way. Yeah. But yes, definitely it helped that both of our parents were supportive of us getting married. They were supportive of our engagement.
After 2 years of marriage, who do you think we hang out with more? My parents.
Now we probably hang out with your parents more. Because, I mean, probably equal, but...
Well, they go to the gym. So.
Yeah, his parents, like, work out with us. We see them every single day. And then my parents work a ton, so it's just different.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Has marriage exceeded your expectations?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Yes, it's been... Our first 2 years has been amazing. Like, you hear the stories on people struggling in their first year of marriage, or some people say their first year of marriage is amazing, their second year of marriage is challenging, or whatever it is. You hear those stories, but for us, we've been really blessed, and it's been fun. It's like, I was telling somebody the other day, the first year of marriage, you kind of get like that. You still kind of have the butterfly feeling when you're coming home, like you just want to, like, I don't know, cuddle, and
it's all new and
yeah, everything's like so new, and we only knew each other for 5 months, so it was like still like getting to know each other. But then year 2 has been even better, which kind of surprised me. But like even today, like even now, it's like I want to come home to spend time with like my best friend and the person that I love. So it just kind of changes like throughout each season. I'm sure it'll get harder in some seasons, and some seasons will be easier. But we have had a really easy and great 2 years of marriage.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely way easier, way more fun. Like, we're definitely way closer now than we were last year. Like, it definitely just gets better and better. But like I said, like he said, that's like not everyone's story, and so whatever. Definitely exceeded my expectations.
Same.
Okay. How do you know if you're ready to get married young? That's a good question. I'll go first. So I feel like you're never gonna fully feel ready. Like, I don't know how to explain it really, but there are things that like make you feel prepared, but I feel like in the moment you're like, oh my gosh, am I ready for this? Am I ready for marriage? Like, is this the right? Like, there is still that feeling for sure. But for me, I feel like I knew I was ready because one, we had a lot of people speaking into our relationship, into our marriage. We had a couple that we like met with, and they were like, yes, supportive. Our families were supportive. I felt like we both had like good jobs. I felt like we both were like just ready to, I don't know, like commit and settle down. Like, there weren't any like big red flags that we were like, wait, like maybe we should wait for this thing. Like, we both were working, we were out of school, we were just like on the same path, I feel like, of like life. And then I feel like even like my heart was ready. Like, I felt like I had taken a lot of time before we met to like become like, my identity was in the Lord, not in like man. Like, I didn't need another person. And so I don't know, I just felt like as a person, like as my heart was like really ready for it. Like, I had spent time years before I met Easton, like preparing my heart to get married someday. So hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would just second that. I don't really have anything else. I think that's the key, is just like, can you live with just the Lord and yourself and just really pursue Him before you're pursuing another person that takes your attention off of Him? But yeah, I mean, that's
yeah, and surround yourself with people that can see if there are red flags or whatever.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, is like having people that will speak into your relationship, mentors, parents, friends, whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're ever gonna feel like fully ready.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you just kind of have to trust.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question. Do you have a hard time relating to your friends who are not married? Yes and no. Like, I still have a lot of really good girlfriends in my life that aren't married, and I feel like I feel like when you get married, you definitely like see who your true friends are. Like, I feel like I noticed right away as soon as we got married, like, okay, who are the people that are still reaching out versus like people that maybe just wanted to hang out because they knew I was single and like down to hang, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it is definitely harder now that we're married to like make plans with our friends. I'm not as so like, oh, like out every single night, like hanging out with my friends. So I feel like it definitely does change. As far as like relating to them, sorry if you hear a dog in the background. As far as like relating to them, like I feel like I can still relate to them because I was in their season before, but I feel like they have a hard time relating to like me and like what we're going through as like a married couple because they're not in that season, if that makes sense. So, and like also I think sometimes like they want to go out and like have girls' nights a lot, and sometimes that's just not like, I can't go to every single one of those. So it's just a little bit different, but I feel like I've gotten closer to the ones like I've gotten closer to the friends that stayed with me through getting married, and then I also have lost like some friends too. So
yeah, for me, I don't know. It's like all my boys that like you know, from high school and stuff. I just started working so early. They did like the whole college thing, so it's like I don't know. It's just been normal since high school that we just haven't hung out as much. Like I'll try to hang out, every once in a while. Like I mean, like once every couple months, but yeah, it's very rare. Like right now, my life is literally like working, like growing a business, and then pursuing my wife and hanging out with my wife
And like you were like that before we got married, whereas like me before, like I was always with my girlfriends. Like you, I feel like we're doing the same thing, working and just chilling. Yeah. So just different. Okay. How do you handle hate or people thinking it's a bad idea?
I feel like this is with anything. You could tell me that I am the worst person, the ugliest person, the worst. You could say the worst thing to me, and I feel like I just brush it off and it doesn't really bother me or offend me or whatever. I don't know. Like I don't know. You have to talk on this one.
Yeah, I feel like guys just don't care. I mean, obviously you guys do, but
I think it's kind of cool that we got married so quickly. But
I think here's the thing with me. Like most of the time, the hate is just random people in the comments of our TikToks or Instagram Reels, and like they don't know us. They see one video, and all of a sudden they're blowing up in the comments. Those ones don't bother me because I'm like, I don't even know who you are. You don't know me. Like, what's going on here? I feel like if it was someone close to me, which we haven't had, like I feel like all of our close friends and family have been really supportive. But I'm like, okay, if I wouldn't take advice from you, then I do not care if you hate, like, or have something to say about us, if that makes sense. Okay. So how do I manage it? I just kind of ignore it, and I would
just move on.
Yeah,
you never think about it again after you read it.
Yeah. But if there are people that like you are close to and they think it's a bad idea, I think definitely like try to sit down, have a conversation with them, explain to them like why you want to get married young. Like I think sometimes just communication is really important, but at the end of the day, it's your decision, and you just kind of have to do what you believe at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Next question. How do you manage to put God first in your marriage? I can go first.
Do it.
I think it looks like a lot of different things. I think it looks like praying together. I think it looks like reading the word together. I think it looks like serving, going to church together. But really, it's just allowing the Lord to be number one in our lives personally, and obviously as a marriage, but personally, like I need to let the Lord be the one to fill my heart and all the desires of my heart and live out of that place so that I can love my husband. So it's like the Lord first and then my husband. And then if I keep doing that, then that's how like I feel like marriage works, because whether he's loving me or not, I'm already receiving from the Lord, so I can love him unconditionally, not based off his performance or how amazing of a husband or not he is that day. I can be here first. And honestly, we don't get it perfect at all, and there's so many times we have to ask each other for forgiveness or be like, oh, we need to get the Lord back as our number one, because we can never he can never be, I can't let him try to be God in my life. Like God needs to be number one. So I think, just
you couldn't set it better.
Okay. Did you find it a big adjustment in moving together? Oh, sorry. Did you find it a big adjustment moving in together and being around each other all the time? I feel like yes. In like certain things. Like I like the way that we were raised, like little things that we do, like it can be so small, like the way you put the toilet paper on, or the way that I leave all the cabinets open, he likes them all shut when we're like cooking, or like so many small little things. It's like I've never had to worry about someone else telling me the right way to do things or whatever.
The perfect example is when I cook. If let's say I'm cooking hamburger and I put seasoning on it or salt and pepper, I take that seasoning and put it in the cupboard right away. She would like to leave all the seasoning out along with all the plates and all the sauces and all that stuff.
He cleans up as we go. I like to cook everything and then clean everything at the end. I don't like to do a little bit as we go. So there's anyway, things like that where it's like you just learn as you get married.
But I feel like it was nothing crazy to adjust to.
No, I think if anything, it's just fun. It's like, we don't have to say goodbye to each other. We don't have like at night, or I don't know. It's just like more of a fun adjustment than like this huge big thing.
What we got next?
How often do you do it?
Every dang day, baby.
He wishes. Honestly, I feel like it just changes. Like, I feel like every week it's different. But we can say every week, sometimes multiple times.
Yeah, it definitely changes. It just
Changes.
yeah, it depends on the mood that usually she's in, because I'm always ready to rock and roll.
It just changes. Best tip on how you deal with arguments / differences.
There's large arguments that you need to address, and there's small arguments. For example, if there's going to be something that affects like your marriage or your season, or like a big decision, like maybe buying a house, buying a car, something like that, and maybe there's an argument, like maybe separate for a little bit and then come back together with your thoughts and talk through it. But then there's other things where, like I gave the example of her not putting the stuff away. Now it's not worth getting into a big argument and, you know, saying that she's wrong and I'm right. So you just let it go, type of thing.
Yeah, I think you might have heard this before, but are you trying to win the argument, or are you like trying to win? Like, we're on the same team, we're just trying to win.
Right.
And so I think when I think about it that way, like, okay, do I just want to be right in this argument, or do I genuinely want us to be like one and be together on this thing? So for me, I think it's just the best tip is just humble yourself. The more selfless you are, the better your marriage is going to be. Marriage is, I also have heard this, like, marriage isn't for your happiness, it's for your holiness. So those arguments and those hard times are actually just there to sanctify you and like bring you closer to the Lord. And if you allow Him to do that, your marriage is going to be awesome. But if you don't, and you're stubborn and you want to be right all the time, then it's going to be hard.
It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Just move on.
What is the hardest thing you've had to overcome together?
I mean, I feel like this season, maybe. Like the season that we're in, at first we both had full-time jobs and we were just sending it, no kids, anything like that. And now it's like I opened up a business. Caitlin stopped working at the church that we go to.
Life update.
And so she's literally...
And nothing bad happened. Just nothing.
All good. Just we felt like it was time for her just to be a stay-at-home dog mom and live her best life.
That's not true. Okay, I'm currently getting my real estate license, which is really exciting. I've always wanted to do this. And I'm actually almost done. And also, we want to start trying for little babies. Actually, we are trying. So we can give a full update on that and how that's going, because it has been way harder than we ever imagined. I feel like that's something we're like overcoming. Like, you just think, oh, it's going to be so easy and blah, blah, blah. So I think just, opening up a new business, change of job, like a little bit more of like a financial like stress, not like a burden, but just a little more stress.
A little tighter than what it was.
We're learning to like overcome a lot of just new challenges in a new season, and so that's a fun little life update for you guys, actually. That's what we've been up to. So if you guys have any other questions, definitely like comment them below. We'd love to like answer them on Instagram, on stories or whatever. But thanks so much for watching this, and we hope that you guys learned something or took away some advice for getting married young. Bo's not letting us continue any longer, so
thank you for watching this video. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. We love you guys. Meadows fam out.
Hey! Oh. Good boy!
Here, now say cheese.
You say cheese.